On behalf of the Mayor of the City of Saginaw, Greg Branch, Saginaw City Council, and all of the employees in Saginaw who work and strive every day to make Saginaw a better place, we want to welcome you to join with us today in the celebration of what we believe is a major accomplishment in the City of Saginaw and to the benefit of the region. It is a celebration of partnership, it is a celebration of collaboration, and a celebration of innovation. An effort to find better ways of providing services, more efficient ways of providing those services, and more sustainable ways to keep those services going. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Darnell Early. I'm the city manager of Saginaw. This is the third ribbon-cutting ceremony I've presided over in the last 6 weeks, all of which indicate the positives of what's going on, not only in Saginaw, but in the region as well. And I'm a firm believer as an urban manager that as goes the urban core city, so goes the rest of the region and ultimately the county. We have our challenges just like every other city, but we're working very hard to find new ways, new innovative ways to provide services in an area where services have long been provided and long been appreciated, but are now more costly than ever to provide. And that is why my department heads, my management staff, and everyone assists me so vigorously in finding alternatives. It is no longer satisfactory to continue doing things the way they've been done years before. We have to be innovative. We have to push the envelope. We have to listen. We have to watch and see what's going on around us. And so with that as a backdrop, I'm very proud to stand before you today and say that this is a very momentous occasion in the history of the city of Saginaw as well as in the region. Phil Carwatt is the Director of Public Services for the city of Saginaw. Phil has had that position now for a little over 2 years, and he's brought a lot of such ideas to the forefront to me as things that he believes will work in the city of Saginaw. And I tell all of my managers, if you believe in it, I can believe in it. I can get behind it and support it. And with Phil, that's like giving him an open check, because he comes up with a lot of ideas and he usually has the data and the research to back those ideas. And so it's very easy to get behind an idea that Phil presents to me for the good of the city of Saginaw and for the region. I'd like to call Phil up and share with you some of the details of this great project that we're here today to talk about. Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Phil Carwatt. I'm the Public Services Director for the City of Saginaw. And I want to start out with just thanking everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know we're all busy, continuing to move not only the City of Saginaw forward, but also Saginaw County. And thank you today for coming here for a successful project that we feel, which is the first of hopefully many renewable energy projects and clean energy in the City of Saginaw. So I'm going to give you a little history, some details of the project. The City of Saginaw has been working on this renewable energy project for probably just over 2 years now. And the city's initial focus for clean energy, and that was more so related to energy efficiency. I mean, with some of the revenue challenges facing the City of Saginaw today, our first objective was to kind of take a look at that low-hanging fruit and what can we do to get an immediate payback on some projects from the investment from some of the grant funding that we were receiving. So we've always kind of been looking at initially energy efficiency versus renewable energy. But a couple years ago, we were approached by the Clean Energy Coalition with some grant funding through the Michigan Public Services Commission through some of their LEAF funds. And it was initially the Clean Energies Coalition push to the City of Saginaw to look at something renewable. So at that point, that's what we did. The renewable energy idea developed over time into what is now a complete solar generator system made up of a unique combination of fixed and biaxial tracking arrays. In order for the city to move forward with and implement energy efficiency and renewable energy projects, cooperation from local government was crucial. Therefore, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the city manager and City Council for supporting the energy efficiency and renewable energy programs that have been developed and recommended by city staff. I'd also like to thank the city's engineering division and more specifically Mr. Rich Lambombard. Rich, would you mind standing up so everybody can see who you are? He's the city's engineering assistant, and for the most part, the project manager for not only this renewable energy project we're looking at here today, but also all of the energy efficiency projects for the city of Saginaw. I mean, without Rich's oversight and insight and his passion for this energy efficiency, I don't know that we'd see the success we're seeing today, and also in the timeline that we're seeing. He's been pretty proactive in working with and making the recommendations that I can ultimately make to City Council to proceed. So I wanted to thank Rich for that. Also, from the just over $1 million investment, the City of Saginaw received just over $560,000 from EECBG, the Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant, and approximately just under $300,000 from the Michigan Public Service Commission through the LEAF funding that the Clean Energy Coalition administered. But with that investment, we're recognizing today just over $300,000 annually in energy savings. So I mean, that's tremendous for the city, and we're hoping we can continue to get some grant funding and even move that forward. So throughout the life of the project, we were pleasantly surprised to find a number of organizations that were willing to partner with the city by providing technical and financial assistance in order to make renewable energy in the city of Saginaw a reality. Some of the organizations I'd like to recognize and thank include the Department of Energy for providing the city with its Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant funding, the Michigan Public Service Commission for providing funding through the Low Income and Energy Efficiency Fund to the city for energy efficiency and renewable energy projects, the Clean Energy Coalition for their technical assistance and administering of the Michigan Public Service Commission grant funding. I'd also like to thank Consumers Energy for selecting the City of Saginaw to participate in the Experimental Advanced Renewable Program. That's the NERP program. Just to give you a little bit of history, when we started out with the Clean Energy Coalition, the original grant was just over $400,000. And as I talked earlier, the city's initial initiative was to find some low-hanging fruit. So a majority of that money, what we did is we retrofitted all of our incandescent traffic signals, which are real energy efficiency, to LED. And that saved the city of Saginaw just over $100,000 a year. The next part of that was to hire a firm to do the design of this project, which we used some of that Clean Energy Coalition grant funding for. But in the interim of all this, there was a lawsuit that took place, and any grant funding that wasn't spent got withheld. You could no longer spend it. So pretty much other than the design of this project being completed, we were standing here with a design and no money to build it. So at that point, it took a lot of people working together to come up with how we could fund this. So one of them was Rich applied for this ERP grant through Consumers Energy, which we were successful in obtaining. And the estimate on that is over a term of about 15 years, we estimate based on the kilowatt produced by this system that'll pay the city of Saginaw $92,000. And then just so everybody knows, again, the ERP program, the first 15 years, the solar being produced is not coming to the city, so we're not going to recognize that as a savings. It's actually being provided back to Consumers Energy to put in the system, but we're being paid for that. Also, I'd like to thank Suniva, who was the supplier of the solar panels used on this project. Next Tier Automotive for supplying the SunSteer biaxial tracking system. Saginaw Future for administering the Saginaw County's revolving loan. The city, in order to pay for this, we had to find some money again, and we worked with Saginaw Future to get a loan through Saginaw County, which has a term of the 15 years, same as the ERP program. Spicer Group, a local design firm for the design and specification writing for the installation of the solar array system, and Green Panel, who were the contractor for the installation of the system. The solar generation system installed is a 24 kilowatt capacity system made up of 96 250 watt Optimus panels, which were manufactured by Suniva of Norcross, Georgia. And the panels themselves contain polycrystalline silicone, which was manufactured by Hemlock Semiconductor from Thomas Township. 21 kilowatts of the fixed panels are mounted on the roof of the Public Services facility located just across the street, and 3 kilowatts of that system are mounted on the SunSteer biaxial tracking system. The combined system, constructed by Green Panel of Brighton, Michigan, is capable of producing just over 27,000 kilowatt hours of energy per year, which is according to the energy calculator, PV watts. And the system is capable of supplying approximately 10% of the overall electrical usage of the Public Services facility. So the system has a life of 25 years, so after the 15 years, we can turn that energy back into actually supplementing what we use at the facility. I mean, unless Consumers wants to extend their program with us. And that, we estimate that'll generate around $2,500 or $3,000 a year in energy savings at today's electrical rate. Constructing such a unique solar generator establishes the City of Saginaw as a key player and leader in solar technology in the Saginaw Valley and incorporates technology and talent available within the Great Lakes Bay region. It also furthers the city's efforts to go green, reduce energy usage, stabilize operating costs, and ultimately reduce expenses. In closing, I'd like to once again personally thank all organizations and individuals who participated in the success of the City of Saginaw's first clean and renewable energy project. We believe this project demonstrates the city's commitment to reduce overall expenses by utilizing clean energy and green technology, our ability and willingness to collaborate with other organizations to achieve our energy-related goals, and to continue to seek additional grant funding for similar renewable energy and efficiency projects. Thank you.
Good morning, Greg Branch, Mayor of Saginaw, and I could just say what he said. I'll be a lot briefer, though. I've always been fascinated by the fact that all of the energy that we use, all of the energy that keeps us alive, is actually solar energy. The sun is the Earth's sole source of energy, and the question is how many middlemen handle that, and how many centuries or millennia are there do we have in the middle. But there's an incredible series of relationships that brings any energy from the sun into our smartphones and digital recorders and things like that. Photosynthesis turns that energy from the sun into carbohydrates, which get stored by plants. After the plants die, decomposition turns them into coal or oil and other things that store the chemical bonds in those atoms. Today we're celebrating something that helps bypass the middleman, that converts the sun's energy directly into electrical energy, but it still depends on an incredible number of relationships. I'm not going to read them all up here because I'll miss them, but these are all of the different partners who have helped bring this project to fruition, and it has been the result of a lot of work on the part of city staff and all of these people who have helped make this happen. It's a very, very great example of a public-private partnership, and it's one that's come together to create new energy for Saginaw in more ways than one. So I'd like to thank all of the partners. I'd like to thank Phil and Rich and the staff at City Hall that helped make this happen, and I'd like to thank everyone else for being here to help celebrate with us today. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I'm Joanne Carreri from Saginaw Future, and we have Bob Vandeventer, our president of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce, here today. And on behalf of both Saginaw Future and the Saginaw Chamber, we just want to congratulate the mayor, the city manager for his leadership, and the team at the City of Saginaw for their great work, their hard work to get this accomplished today, and also to Consumers Energy for being our great partner in getting this done. As a global headquarters for Hemlock Semiconductor and NextSteer, this area has generations of manufacturing expertise, and we've been working very hard with our partners at Bay Future and Midland Tomorrow to make this region the center for the supply chain for the solar industry. We're extremely pleased that we've been able to partner on this project under the city's leadership with Consumers Energy, Hemlock Semiconductor, NextSteer, and Suniva to make the project a reality. We have people here today from those companies, and I'd like to point them out for the media so that you can talk with them afterwards. Matt Card from Suniva, can you raise your hand for us? Matt. Luis Canales and his team from NextSteer. Jeff Mays from Consumers Energy. Hillary Guazdala from Hemlock Semiconductor. And also I want to thank Tom Miller from Saginaw Future. He was really our point person to help get the financing together. So as Phil said, once there wasn't any money there, we had to figure out through State Representative Ken Horn and through the MEDC how we were going to provide the financing, and through them and through Tom's leadership we were able to pull this together. We believe that if we're going to be a global leader, though, in manufacturing of solar, we also have to embrace it as a community. So what we've done recently is we've teamed up with the Michigan Energy Office, and we have Mark Clevey here today, and the Clean Energy Coalition, and we have a representative from Clean Energy here today as well. And we were given a grant to try and make it easier for businesses and residents to install solar. We worked with 4 municipalities, including the City of Saginaw, Thomas Township, and Bob Weesey's here today from Thomas Township, the City of Midland, and Williams Township, to take a look at the inefficiencies and obstacles to permitting the solar zoning ordinances and the application processes. And Clean Energy Coalition provided best practices nationally on how to make it really easy. So if you want to install solar, you go to a website, push a button, fill out an application, set up an appointment for an inspection, and get them put in very easy. We're trying to embrace it. So today, this ribbon cutting is not just about cutting the ribbon on one solar installment. It's the city's leadership in trying to actually make it easier for everyone to install solar. So on behalf of Saginaw Future and the Chamber, again, we'd like to congratulate the city for their leadership. And now we'd like to cut the ribbon. So if we could have our partners from Hemlock Semiconductor, Consumers, NextSteer, Soneva, the Michigan Energy Office, the Clean Energy Coalition, led by the City of Saginaw, will cut the ribbon.
As you see, it takes a team to manage a city. It also takes a team to cut some of these ribbons. So. Well, thanks so much, and these people will be available for interviews afterwards. Thank you.